So this code would help us to make a square. A square would have four sides. All the sides are equal, so that is why we are moving equal number of steps for every side. This code, this single piece of code, this can be used to draw one side. Yes, Uswa, you want to say something?
Sir, do we have to open Scratch?
Yes, you have to open Scratch. You can open Scratch with. Okay. So see this code that our character moves 100 steps and turns 90 degrees. Once it would turn 90 degrees, it would be facing into that direction. It is going to make another 100 steps, move another 90 degrees so that it faces into this direction. After that, it's going to move another 100 steps into that direction. Again, turn 90 degrees so it faces in that direction. Again, move 100 steps towards this side and face towards this side after that. So that way we would be able to make a square. But there is one very important tool that we have to learn about today, and it is not generally available in your coding blocks. You have to add this coding block newly. So let me show you the whole process once again. I'm going to close my Scratch, open it once again. And while it is opening, remember that the first shape that we are going to draw is a square. A square has four sides. All the sides must be equal, and there should be a 90 degrees angle between all these four sides. So what you can currently see on the left side here is different types of code blocks. So the first block says motion. So obviously when we want our character to draw something, we would want this character to move on screen, and we would say that it would move on screen. Wherever it is moving, it's going to draw some lines. These lines are going to turn into some shape. So that is what this character has to do. Perfectly fine with us. The next thing that we want from this character is that it should be able to draw lines. So moving anywhere on the screen does not allow this character to mark lines. As you can see, this character is moving forward, but it is not drawing any lines, right? So how can this character draw some lines? So in order to make it able to draw some lines, what we have to do is use we need a pencil. We need to use a pencil or a pen. So for that, what you are going to do is, on your Scratch window, go to this option here which says add extension. It is right at the left bottom of your screen, left side and bottom side of your screen. It is available there. So you need to click on this add extension and select this pen tool to help you to draw the objects. Now you can see that there are a few code blocks that you can use to draw things. I would explain you what these things are, and then we'll start working on it. I will explain you all these blocks one by one. So this first block, it says erase all. So what do you think means by erasing all? It means that anything that you would have drawn on the screen, if you want to erase everything, you would have to use this erase all block. Then you have this pen down block. Remember when you were trying to write something, what would you do if you want to write something on a paper? If you put your pen up, you won't be able to write or draw anything, right? If you want to draw something, you would have to put your pen down. You would have to touch the paper with the pen. So pen down means that you are currently in the drawing phase. Pen up means that you won't be drawing anything. Let's say that I use this pen up and pen down tools. If I put this pen down and then I ask my character to move forward, you would be able to see that, it's drawing lines. But if I ask my character to do the same thing again, but I want this character to move the pen up, you would see that it is not drawing anything now. So pen down would help you to draw things, and pen up would stop drawing anything on the screen. It would be similar that if you want to jump from one place and go to another place, so you can pen up at that point, go to another place, pen down there, and then start drawing something again. So let's erase everything. So in order to erase everything, what we need to do is click on erase all. You would see when we click that, everything is going to be erased from your screens. So that is erased. And now we can bring our character in the middle as well. So let's first try to make that square. So in order to draw a square, as I have told you earlier, all you need to do is move 100 steps. So I'm going to write move 100 steps. After moving 100 steps, I'm going to turn right to 90 degrees, and I'm going to wait some time over there, 0.2 seconds, let's say. And I'm going to repeat this process, this whole process 4 times. So I'm going to duplicate it 1 times, 2 times, and 3 times. Now you see that I have these 4 similar blocks. I want to put this pen down if I want to draw anything. So first time I would do this would happen. Then when I attach this block, this is going to happen. And now if I attach this third block, this is going to happen. And when I attach this fourth block, this is going to happen. Now if I erase everything and try to draw that shape again, what am I going to do is, I'm going to just simply do this, click on this button, and it's going to help me draw a square. Now we can use the same method, but instead of writing the code 4 times, you know that you can repeat a block of code more than 1 times. So let's say we delete all these extra blocks. We just use the code to draw one side, erase all again. Currently, you would see that our pen is down, so that is why we are writing something. So I will erase everything and I will pen up also. So now I am going to ask my character to repeat this step 4 times, because a square has 4 sides. So this is the code that you can use to draw one side. And if you do this process 4 times, you are going to have 4 sides. And these 4 sides are going to help you to draw a square. So first, let's say come to middle. And now put your pen down and draw. See, you have already drawn a perfectly managed square here. Another code that you can write is, let's say I duplicate this one, and now I am going to draw let's say, what? A triangle. How many sides does a triangle has?
Three.
So a triangle has 3 sides. Remember yesterday I told you to identify that what angle do we need to put there if you want to draw something. So that angle, how do we calculate that angle? I'm going to show you that again. But first, let's say that because we want to draw a triangle, so we are going to use it to repeat 3 times. Okay, so that, let's say that we repeat it 3 times. After that, we are going to decide that how many degrees do we need to turn. Yesterday I told you that you have this whole circle degrees, which is 360, and how many sides do you need to draw? If you need to draw 3 sides, you are going to divide this number 360 by 3, and you are going to get the degrees that you need to turn. Now you would get 120 degrees. So if in turn of this 90 degrees, if I put 120 instead of its place, so what is going to happen is uh, this is going to draw one, you can say side, turn 120 degrees, and repeat this process three times. So three sides are going to be made, and they are going to form a triangle. So let's say what happens when we run this code. So it helps us to make a rectangle. Perfectly fine. Again, now if we want to make that shape, that flower shape, let's say, so how are we going to make it? We would have to identify that as well. So let's say that we try to make a flower today. So in order to make a flower in scratch, we first need to create one of its petals. So in order to create one of its petals, let's say that we use that code we used the other day to create a diamond shape. So first, let's create one diamond shape. I would erase everything. I would put the pen up, and I'm going to write a code to draw what do we call it? A diamond shape. So in order to draw a diamond shape, what we need to do is try to write how the two sides would be made, and then you can repeat the process of making two sides twice to make one, you can say, diamond shape with four sides. So first we are going to ask a character to move, let's say, 100 steps. After that, we are going to ask our character to turn 120 degrees, wait for 0.2 seconds, duplicate this whole thing and attach it here. And instead of 120, next time we are going to turn to 60 degrees. And if we repeat this process, let's say two times, if we, let's say, repeat this process two times, and we are starting with this point in direction 90 degrees. So if we repeat this process two times, you would be able to make a diamond shape. I hope that. And in the pen tool, you can have this set pen color to option here. This set pen color to option can help you to set or change the pen color. Let's say that I want to make a flower that is red in color, has red outsides. So I'm going to use this set pen color to get my pen to draw in red color. So once you have got that, another thing that you can do is change your pen color by 10 after repeating a certain process. Let's say this one. And again after repeating this one. So this would help us to draw, let's say, one diamond shape. So if I try this, you see that it has helped me to draw one diamond shape. Now, if I want my character to draw a diamond shape, let's say with unequal sides, like these two sides should be equal. So what I can do is uh, change size of one side to be, let's say, 150. Let's erase everything, go to 0, 0, point in direction 90, do that again. And I would be able to see that I have two sides which are bigger and two sides which are smaller. Obviously, we need to turn in a certain degrees first. Let's say if I point in 45 degrees when we start, so what happens? So I have made this shape. But let's say that let's keep with 100 and 100. Go to 0, 0, erase everything, point in direction 45, and this is. So we have got this shape here. I would still reduce this size to, let's say, 50, and this one also to 50. Try this once again. And then I can change it to 150 and change this to also 150 and try this once again. You can see that I keep on drawing shapes. And another good thing is that these shapes that I am drawing, the color is different in most of the shapes. So it is using 3 different colors here, right? So first, let's say erase everything. Go to motions, point in direction 90 degrees. Go to 0, 0. So that's where we actually start. And I'm going to ask my character to turn into, let's say, this direction when it starts this. And once it starts with this one and draws one, let's say, shape, I can ask it to draw multiple shapes after that as well. But if I do it, let's say 60 and this one 120, erase all and try to do that again. Yes, so that is, oh, we made some mistake, I guess, somewhere. Yes, the mistake that we made was here. Let's say erase everything and try to do that once again. Can anyone tell me what is happening here? Why these lines are not meeting at a certain point? Can anyone try to guess why it is not meeting? Why the two ends are not meeting?
Sir, I think that because you added 80 steps and 120 degrees and with 1.20 uh, with 1.2 seconds, that's why I think it will happen.
Check it, but I don't think that it should happen because of that. Now let's say yes, it's perfectly fine. So now let's try to do that same process again, but instead of having that, we are going to draw more than one shapes now. By drawing more than one shapes, what I mean is that we should be able to draw it like, what do we call it? A flower, more petals to add. So let's say that we go to this turn block, add it here at the end of this code and ask it to turn that how many times do we want to repeat this process. Let's say we want to make 10 petals. Okay. How many petals? 10 petals. So let's say if you want to make 10 petals, you would have to divide 360 by 10 and you would get that you would have to turn 36 degrees. So I'm going to ask my character to turn 36 degrees after that. Make the petal size a little smaller, let's say 60 steps and 60 here. And now I am going to repeat this process, this bigger process, whole process. This basically is the process for me to draw one diamond. If I want to draw it 10 times, I would have to repeat this process 10 times, let's say, and I would be able to make one flower with 10 petals like that. How is that? How is it? How does that flower look like?
He just died. It looks nice.
It looks nice. Okay. So let's say that we change this color to some else color, maybe green or yellow or lime. Now you can see that the colors would be in starting from that color and they would be changing eventually. I'm using this green color to draw the same thing, but now I'm going to draw 12 petals. So you know that if you want to draw 12 petals, now you would have to turn a little differently. The degrees that you need to turn is going to be different. And you are going to calculate it with the same method. Divide 360 by how many petals do you want to make. Let's say that you want to make 12 petals. So you are going to divide it by 12. So it says that 30 degrees is the amount that you need to turn. So this was the first one that you had made. And now if you turn it 30 degrees and repeat this process 12 times, something like this is going to be made.
Sir, there are more lines and more diamonds there.
Yeah, there are more lines and more diamonds here. To exactly show how and how is this happening, let's say that we do not change these color effects. Let's say that I do not change these color effects, and instead what I would do is I would simply change the colors every time we start. So I would erase everything, first make that 10 so 12 petals with the green color, and so this is going to happen if I make that. You would see 12 green petals making one flower. Now we are going to change the color after that, and we are going to make 10 petals. So we are going to change this angle to 36, and we are going to change this color to, let's say, purple, and this is going to be made. After that, we are going to try to draw 6 petals. So in order to draw 6 petals, you are going to repeat this process 6 times, but you have to change this angle here as well. So what do you think the angle should be? Who can calculate the angle and tell me what angle should we use?
It's 534.
What angle should be there if I have to repeat this process 6 times? Who can calculate the angle? 60 degrees.
60 degrees.
And who has told that? Who said that?
Isaac.
Isaac. Okay. So we have to turn 60 degrees, and if we turn 60 degrees, we are going to have a flower with 6 petals, but we would have to, let's say, use a different color. So I'm going to use red this time now. And this is the shape that you would be making at the end of it. You can see 6 diamonds being made. Similarly, you can have 8 diamonds, you can have 9 diamonds. In order to make 9 diamonds, you have to use 9 here and turn 40 degrees. Let's use a different color. Yellow would be fine. So this is kind of a good yellow color. So now you have yellow petals in between them. There are 9 petals in total. Okay, fine. Again, now you can try to draw a different shape. The shape that we were having currently, it had actually only how many sides? It had how many sides did it have? It had 4 sides, but we can use the same process for hexagons as well. Let's say that we want to make a hexagon and hexagon after every hexagon. So hexagon has how many sides? How many sides are there in a hexagon? A hexagon has 6. A hexagon has 6 sides. So let's say that you want to make 6 hexagons. So you would have to repeat this process 6 times and turn 60 degrees after this. So currently this is kind of very golden. 6, 6, 60, 60, and 60. The code is very simple. Let's change the color to something like that. And we would change the color of every, let's say, hexagon. So for that, I'm going to use set pen color after turning 60 degrees to a different color. So the next hexagon that we are making would be in a different color. So first one is purple. Let's make the second one green. Do dark green, and let's see what happens. So the first one was purple, but all the other ones were green. So I guess that we should not use this one here. Instead, we should use change pen color by here, so that we change the color by 30, let's say. And let's see what happens now. Erase everything and draw it again. So first is purple, second one is red, third one is green, fourth one is blue, next is dark blue, and then we have light green. So now you see that we have made another beautiful shade, right? So I'm going to give you some homework that you can do at home. I obviously have recorded this lesson as well. I can share its recording.